Hello and welcome to National Focus. I'm your presenter Mervin. Thank you for joining us. Topping the headlines, custom brokers trained on proper classification on ODS. Symposium to tweak World Creole Music Festival, and the Prime Minister Skerrit congratulates His Excellency Rafael Correa on his victory at Sunday's presidential elections in Ecuador. Details of these and other stories when National Focus returns.
The facts as they are, brought to you every day, only on GIS Channel 7.
Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. The yachting industry continues to grow in the town of Portsmouth. Parliamentary representative for the Portsmouth constituency, Honorable Ian Douglas, says in recent times there has been an increase in yachting activities in that part of the country.
When I went on my back veranda this morning, there are on average about 80 or 90 yachts in the harbour, and we have that kind of situation from, I would say, from October all the way through to May, April. A lot of people don't know, one of the hottest activities right now on a Sunday night in Dominica really is the Sunday barbecue that is being hosted by the Portsmouth Association of Yacht Security, and those guys continue to do a marvelous job where they literally host a banquet at their facility on the Purple Turtle Beach, and about on average 80 to 100 tourists from those yachts come on shore every Sunday night to partake in the banquet, in rum punch and music, and it's a great reception.
Douglas says the Portsmouth Association of Yacht Security has been instrumental in sustaining the yachting industry in the north of the country.
That has been made possible through the monies generated through the yacht security, because the Portsmouth Association of Yacht Security, those guys like Cobra and Jeff and those guys, they have a boat, and every night there's a security officer out there really keeping the yacht safe, and it is that aspect and that service that has allowed the yachting industry in the Prince Rupert's Bay in Portsmouth to grow and to develop and to become so popular, and so the guys continue to offer that service.
Last year, two pioneers in the yachting business in Dominica, Hubert Winston and Andrew O'Brien, better known as Cobra, attended the 50th annual Antigua Charter Yacht Show. During that show, the two gentlemen highlighted the beautiful aspects of sailing in Dominica. Winston and O'Brien have both confirmed that notwithstanding the challenges with air traffic into Dominica, marine traffic continues to increase. Every year, an influx of large and expensive yachts come to Dominica to experience the nature isle. Customs brokers on Tuesday were engaged in a one-day workshop which will equip them with skills to assist in the phase-out process of ozone-depleting substances in the country. The workshop, organized by the Environmental Coordinating Unit of the Ministry of the Environment, took place at the Roseau Fisheries Complex Conference Room. Ozone Officer at the Environmental Coordinating Unit, Bradley Guy, in addressing the start of Tuesday's workshop, spoke to the key areas which the training will focus on.
We will be focusing on four main areas. One is the depletion of the ozone layer and international response in relation to that. The role of custom brokers in Montreal Protocol compliance, legislative and enforcement approaches to meet the compliance underneath the Montreal Protocol, and the role of the ASICUDA World, as we know, is a new online program being implemented in most of the international world. Our customs department has initiated the ASICUDA World program, so thus the custom brokers, you're the forefront being putting in the information on this ASICUDA World, so we are focusing on that.
The capacity building training exercise is receiving support from the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP. Project Officer for UNEP's Caribbean Office, Donalyn Charles, spoke at Tuesday's opening ceremony.
Your training today is a follow-up from the customs training that was held last year, November, which was basically assisting customs officers to be more aware of their role in monitoring the import and export of ODSs. Today we'll be looking at ODSs, refrigerants, and all of their products. So we're looking at refrigerators and AC units and cars and aerosol cans, and all of these items are items that you deal with on a daily basis. I think this is an opportunity to build a partnership as well between yourselves and the ozone unit, and of course ourselves at UNEP, because the Montreal Protocol has recognized that it has been successful simply because of the good relationships and networks that have been built with various stakeholders such as yourselves, customs officers, the media, training institutions. And I think Bradley rightly said that this is one of the first training being held in this region, and I believe in the entire developing world. So it's an opportunity for you to show the benefits of this.
As a party to the Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer, Dominica is committed to phase out the consumption and importation of all ozone-depleting substances. Dominica has successfully phased out chlorofluorocarbons and is currently implementing the hydrochlorofluorocarbon phase-out management plan, which aims to gradually eliminate the use of HCFCs in the atmosphere. A national symposium to decide on the way forward for Dominica's World Creole Music Festival will be held soon to hear ideas and suggestions as how the event can be made even greater. Tourism Minister Honorable Ian Douglas says while the festival has been held for several years, there is still room for improvement.
After the many years of doing the festival, we had to go back to the drawing board and look at what has been working, what are some of the good things that we have done, what are some of the not so productive areas of the festival that we can tighten up, and we can continue to make the festival one of the best festivals in the region.
The minister says the pricing of the tickets will also be revisited.
The whole issue of tickets last year, because of the suggestion of the Prime Minister, the Friday night tickets were dropped to $50. And we probably saw the most successful Friday night as far as revenue and as far as crowd participation and patrons are concerned. That's something that we may want to look at again for 2013 coming up. A lot of persons suggested that, hey, that was a great idea and it worked. Let's look at it again.
Douglas says the earliest start of the festival on the Sunday will also be given further consideration.
Persons have also said that the Sunday night and starting earlier from about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon is a great idea again. Hey, you know, I mean, it's a suggestion and it worked. It allowed patrons to go home earlier than staying in the park for 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when they have to work for the next day. So all of the persons who worked on the next working day, which was the Monday, who would before not be able to come to the festival because they had to get to work, feel that, okay, because of the early start, they can come to the festival, they can go home by 12 o'clock and get a good night's rest and be at work in the morning. So these are some of the aspects of the festival we will continue to tweak.
The question of the need to include more local aspiring artists on the lineup will also be discussed.
Maybe we need to bring in more local artists, more young, upcoming artists. We need to balance that against the need to have artists who can draw people into the festival, because at the end of the day, if you cannot pull patrons into the festival and excite them because of the various acts that you're bringing down, you cannot generate the revenue to make the festival viable. So we may want to think about, instead of putting on 6 and 7 bands in one night, we may want to bring a top act like P Square or one of the Akons or one of those big guys in the US, and then maybe just build maybe 2 or 3 local acts around that big ticket and crowd puller into the park. You know, we're looking at that because also you have to balance that against how much you might have to pay them to come. If you have to bring Akon, you may have to pay 100,000 US to come. P Square may want 125,000 US. 125,000 US may be able to pay 3 or 4 Burning Flames and Square One and Machel Montano from the region. Or some of the Jamaican artists to come down. So these are some of the things we have to balance going forward, and as we zero in and as we place the spotlight more on the 2013 edition of the World Creole Music Festival, these are some of the things that we will be looking at.
The World Creole Music Festival was conceived out of a need to provide a platform for Dominican musicians and musical expressions and to increase the island's visibility overseas. The annual World Creole Music Festival was created in 1997 as a means of boosting tourist arrivals to Dominica during its independence celebrations and to increase revenue from stayover visitors coming to the island for this celebration. The introduction of the festival was also expected to broaden Dominica's tourism product base and to promote Creole music as a major musical art form. The Division of Agriculture is working with the island's farmers to improve the packaging of agricultural produce. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Samuel Carrot, says the objective of these efforts is to improve the competitiveness within the sector.
We have worked with some of the exporters, for example, in the peeling and packaging of dasheen, for example. So we do not sell the dasheen in the traditional, export the dasheen in the traditional way. We just peeled now and packaged and chilled. But we are looking at primary processing, but also secondary processing. So at the primary processing level, you have the pack houses, for example. The pack houses that are expected to receive, to grade, and so forth, select, and to package the commodities.
So basically, when the commodity gets to the pack houses, it's Dexter's pack house in Fonfoley.
Right. They would be checked, they would be inspected, checked, certified, and so forth, and packaged for export. So that is at the primary level. Now, so that is basically the root crops and bananas and plantains and those commodities.
In more news, discussions are ongoing with a regional company for the establishment of a juicing plant in Dominica. This was confirmed by Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Samuel Carrot.
And Windfresh is actually working with Dominica to try to see if they could bring in a medium-sized juicing plant. But we've also, as you know, installed a juicing plant in Dublin that we are working with Dexia to try to make it a viable enterprise.
This is part of efforts by the current administration to encourage nationals to get involved in agro-processing. To achieve this goal, agricultural officials are working with other partners.
We are working with Bello, for example, for peppers and so forth. We're working, as you know, as well, we are working with the Venezuelans to revitalize, to re-energize the coffee industry. As part of that plan, we do have a processing plant that we will be installed in Dominica to process coffee. We are under the cocoa rehabilitation program. We are now very much focused on rehabilitation, but there is some processing already of cocoa into chocolate, and we're providing some support. If now it's just moral, but we hope we can provide some support, some more tangible support to the individual undertaking the processing of chocolate.
Carrot also confirmed that investments in the agriculture sector will continue this year with the Banana Accompanying Measures Program, BAM. The €15.2 million program is funded by the European Union and seeks to improve productivity and competitiveness within the sector.
We will not be only providing support to production, but also be providing support to value added as well, and irrigation. And one of the first components that we intend to undertake is the rehabilitation, and I heard the director mention it this morning on the radio program, the rehabilitation of a number of feeder roads, farm access roads, to ensure that that challenge that the farmers face with these roads, some of the challenges that they face with these roads will be alleviated. So this is a program that will be implemented over the next 3 years, and it will bring in quite a bit of investments into the agricultural sector, together with other investments that we have coming on stream through the climate change fund and through the PPCR, and that these are significant amounts which will be invested in basically in modernizing the agricultural sector and make the agricultural sector more suitable to the current climate within which we operate.
The Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Dr. Kenny Anthony, has called for more dialogue on the future of Caribbean economies. Speaking at the 24th meeting of the Conference of CARICOM Heads of Government in Haiti on Monday, the St. Lucian's leader spoke of the challenges facing member states. He believes that Caribbean economies needed each other to survive and suggested that the matter should be tabled at the upcoming Conference of Heads of Government of CARICOM in July this year. He said it would be an opportunity to review the role and performance of regional institutions to determine how they could help to restore growth to the economies of the region. Meantime, President of Haiti, His Excellency Michel Martelly, told regional leaders that Haiti, despite its difficulties, represents a good opportunity for each CARICOM country. The Haitian leader marketed his homeland as a country of almost 10 million people with unsuspected natural assets and a rich cultural heritage that could make a major contribution to the health and economies of CARICOM. President Mateli also sold his country as a good provider of agri-food products on the one hand, and the other hand as an outlet for the products from the region. The intersessional meeting marked the first time since becoming a member of CARICOM in 2002 that Haiti has hosted a heads of government meeting. And finally, this news time, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has congratulated Ecuador's President Rafael Correa on his victory at Sunday's presidential elections. General elections were held in Ecuador on February 17 to elect the President, the National Assembly, and the members of the Andean Parliament. The incumbent President Rafael Correa was re-elected by a wide margin. His closest rival, Guillermo Lasso, conceded the election shortly after it concluded. The US and European educated economist, first elected in 2006, won the vote in 23 of the 24 provinces, demonstrated his sustained popularity. The Dominica leader, in a letter to the re-elected leader, congratulated him on behalf of the government and people of Dominica and the Dominica Labour Party. He described President Correa's success as a genuine victory, which was built on the positive results in the areas of political stability, public infrastructure, access to health and education, and poverty alleviation that his government was able to secure with and for the Ecuadorian people. The Prime Minister Skerrit said he is looking forward to working with the President within the ALBA grouping to cement the independence and sovereignty of Latin American and Caribbean countries. And that's the English segment of the news. We now join McPherson St.Luce for the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St.Luce. Premièrement, travail qui continue bien formidable à ce projet chimé là, les Coco. Membre Parlement Honorable Ambrose George visité le projet la semaine passée.
Le projet même, nous avons réhabilité chimé en surface neuf avec asphalte. Avec ça, nous avons fait actuellement, c'est nous avons construit mi-waila. Slip drain avec un head wall sous chimère qui a sous côté la mer, qui est sur the western side of the road. À Loubier même, nous avons fait un sidewalk between deux ponts, à catholique, l'église catholique, avec là au Kabout à Loubier. Donc nous avons fait un bon sidewalk là pour ce peuple là, pour qui a marché. Parce qu'avant nous commencer le projet, ça a été très difficile pour les gens, spécialement les vieux corps, les gens qui viennent, les gens qui ont l'âge, pour marcher à ce sidewalk là, pas tenir pied sidewalk. Avec le trafic là, c'est un danger pour ces gens là, ils ont fait une manière pour marcher un village même Loubier. So projet nous avons deux contracteurs, Yon Hord Castle Comfort pour vivre Wall House Entrance, et l'autre là pour Wall House Entrance pour la route, à bout Loubier.
En autre nouvelle, le ministre de l'Agriculture a continué et puis campagne combattre maladie Black Sikatoka. Parole celle-là sorti officier quarantine, ministre de l'Agriculture, M. Ryan Ansem.
Nous allons aller faire un troisième cycle spraying. Eh bien, ça nous le dit, c'est planter. Et pas seulement spray en chimical. Nous allons aller dans le fil, nous allons faire ça qui est dit en anglais, couper ces feuilles là qui sont maladies. Et bien, si vous faites ça, ou qu'il y a moins de maladies pour jouer avec, et bien, nous le disons, pour tout, tuer ces vieux weeds là, nettoyer fil là, et bien, ministre agriculture qui vient spray place. So, nous avons goûté contre maladie Black Sigatoka, et bien, le gouvernement a patché l'argent pour nous goûter cette maladie. Ça, mais comme vous savez, Black Sigatoka c'est une maladie qui est bien dangereuse et c'est un patché l'argent pour contrôler Black Sigatoka.
En la nouvelle, Dominica a préparé pour promouvoir le pays là en destination écotouriste. Il faut ça la musique a mis en place pour attirer plus de monde venir ici pour mariage et puis pour honeymoon ailleurs. Parole celle-là sorti au ministère touriste, Honorable Ian Douglas. C'est le ministre Douglas. Dominique, c'est pour ce travail et puis la place là et puis pour l'avantage. Discover Dominic Authority qui a mis ici en place lancé initiative Salam, Simen Salam. Honorable Douglas fait parole comme que gouvernement Dominique qui a changé la loi mariage pour faciliter ces moun Salam. Dominique, c'est un de ces pays-là qui plaît meilleur connaître qu'on il nation. Et puis finalement, Dominique a tapé autant soulagement si l'enrangement Petro-Caribé ni et puis Domlek. Parole celle-là sorti au ministère du Travail, Honorable Charles Savren.
Mais si il partait pour Petro-Caribé avec Alba, Domlek te gagné pour payer plus toujours. Avec nous-mêmes te gagné pour payer plus pour l'électricité qui Domlek nous a servi à Domlek. Comme ça, nous tenons un bénéfice en ça, deux côtés, un côté qui Domlek s'est tapé diesel titac plus bas, puis titac plus bas, avec nous-mêmes tenons en fond l'argent, presque la moitié de l'argent qui est payé pour l'huile, avec l'intérêt. Ainsi, l'argent ça là nous a servi pour faire projet ici à Dominique.
Mais c'est mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nous vers le Creole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson, St.Luce. Au revoir.
Thank you, McPherson. Time now for the tip of the day. Drink more water, low-fat milk, and pure fruit juices. If you regularly drink a lot of sweetened drinks, switch several cups a day of your vice for water or naturally sweetened fruit juice. Standard advice is that we need 8 cups of liquid a day for good health. If you're trying to lose weight, studies show that low-fat milk may help. Of course, natural 100% juice will help you meet your daily fruit and vegetable requirements. If you'd like to drink water but can't stand drinking nothing, try adding a few drops of lemon or lime juice. You might also freeze some pieces of fruit and use them in place of ice or add a flavorful herbal tea bag to your glass. And that's all for National Focus. We welcome your suggestions and comments. Feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or you could visit our website at news.gov.dm. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Mervin Matthew. Thank you for watching.